Relief rally in the stock market is fading. The Dow's up just about 17 points now, having been up about 70 points earlier in the program. In fact, it was just up about 10 points a minute or two ago, a little bit of a bounce. But, people are happy about the fact that the raid on Syria has been postponed. But you know what? There's probably more uncertainty now than ever. This problem is going to be weighing on the markets for a lot longer now because of the congressional vote and all this. And so we're not out of jail. I think this relief rally, they're going to sell it off. I think the rally's coming in oil. Oil's now up 40 cents, crossing 108. We hit as high of 112 last week. I think we're going to take that high out, maybe even this week, and go higher. Gold, I can sense a rally coming here, up $13 right now, right around the high of the day. Both gold and oil, I think that's the place to be right now with this uncertainty, or without it. You know, people are going to blame what's going on Syria. Hey, Syria is not the reason, but hey, it's the scapegoat, which is one of the reasons I think that we're even bringing this issue up, is as a distraction to bigger problems that nobody wants to acknowledge. So instead, we'll deal with a man-made Syrian problem rather than this bigger man-made economic problem that we've got brewing. Joe is calling in. He's from Richmond, Virginia. Joe, you're up.
Yeah, hey, Peter. I just wanted to comment on my views on what's going on in the Middle East and how it does, in my mind, has a huge impact on our, economically. For example, our biggest threat, I think, to our nation right now is our economic situation, and us not being able to fix that problem. And the problem that we have over there with intervening, it's going to cost more money and add to the deficit. So I think that's a huge negative from that point of view. And if we do nothing, it's also a problem. Either way, oil prices go up if either event occurs. So I think in either case, I think the Suez Canal could be blocked, and there's lots of ramifications. The price of oil goes up. I mean, that's gonna destroy the economy because the price of inflation that the government's lying about, saying there is no inflation. I think it's going to rise prices to a point where they can't hide it no longer.
Yeah, and the big threat too, it's not just rising oil prices, which are a consequence of inflation that we've created, but rising interest rates. Look at the yields, 30-year yields really getting, really rising today. The bonds getting clobbered almost on the highs. So we're at 2.887% on the 10-year, so almost 2.9. Right, getting very close to 3%. On the 30-year, we're above 3.8, getting closer to 4%. Those are going to be some big milestones, right? The 3% on the 10-year and 4% on the 30-year. But of course, 3% I don't think is going to hold the 10-year. I think the 10-year can get up to 4% too, maybe by the end of the year. Now, what does that mean? If we're at a 4% a 10-year, and we're at a 5.5% 30-year, right? That means we're looking at mortgage rates close to 6%. This housing market is going to get hit a bloodbath. I mean, if mortgage rates are 6%, up from 3.5%, I mean, these prices are completely unaffordable at that level. All these corporate share buybacks, I mean, the cost of capital for corporations, junk bond yields are going to go through the roof. This whole phony economy built on that cheap credit is going to come crumbling down. Combination, rising interest rates, rising oil prices, that's a 1-2 punch to the consumer, right? He's got more interest expense, he's got more expense for gasoline, and it's not just going to be gasoline, it's going to be food. So, look, things are about to get pretty bad pretty fast, I think, in the United States. So, they got to have something to blame it on, right? God, everything was going great, but unfortunately, we had to go into Syria, and, hey, it's not our fault because, that guy used gas on his own people, and, hey, we can't stand for that. We had to do this. History would have viewed us poorly had we not, launched these missiles and started this war, because who knows? They're saying we're not going to have troops on the ground. I don't know. I have a funny feeling that we're going to have troops on the ground, boots, not just the boots, but everybody, the entire guy on the ground in Syria, because it seems to me that's the direction that we're headed. Hey, Joe, thanks for the call.